working as an assistant professor in Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences at Jyoti Vidyapith Women University, Jaipur. So in today's topic, we'll be going through liposomes. Apart from all the conventional formulations that we were looking forward in the previous section, which includes either the tablet or the capsules that comes under the solid dosage form or the liquid dosage form, that includes many of the formulation, for example, emulsion, suspension, or the other big category, parenteral. So what was the need to come to go through a step forward to from the very conventional dosage form that were already into the market? Because some of the drugs have certain issues or limitations, mainly on two parameters, either solubility issues or permeability issues. Because as we should be aware of that, a drug which needs to be dissolved in the body after administrating from any of this particular conventional dosage form, that first need to be solubilized so that it would be able to permeate through the biological membrane in the body. That is the reason a term that is very significantly used in the pharma is partition coefficient. That is, a drug need to have a good ratio of aqueous and oil solubility. That is, it should have a particular amount of solubility as well as permeability to provide a particular bioavailability into the body, so that a therapeutic effect or pharmacological effect can be seen. But because of some of the drug that has poor solubility or the permeability, which is classified according to the system known as BCS, which stands for Biopharmaceutical Classification System, that classify the drugs into 4 different levels on the parameter of solubility and permeability. The very first level includes the drug which has high solubility and high permeability. The second level includes the drug with low solubility, high permeability, and then it continues with the third with high permeability, high solubility and low permeability, and the fourth level has the drug category which are poor in both solubility as well as permeability. So to overcome this particular issue or limitation of a drug candidate which has shown a very good therapeutic effect but is not that much bioavailable in the body if given through these conventional system, that is the reason we go through a step forward approach which includes nanoformulations. In the nanoformulation system, liposome is one of the approach which is very much used and formulated if we talk about the market formulation or either on the research basis. So what are basically liposomes? Liposomes are defined as the microparticulate system or drug carriers which consist of 1 or 2 concentric phospholipid bilayer that will include the drug that could include 2 types of drug, either the drug which are water soluble or water insoluble into that enclosed phospholipid bilayer system which is separated from an aqueous compartment. So the structure of the liposome in the nano range looks like similar to that of a lipid membrane but in a circular form. This kind of structures continue through the circular region, and what this particular system enclosed or provide a drug candidate, it provides 2 type of area to the drug candidate. One is in between this bilipid layer where the drugs which are insoluble in water can be accommodated, as well as this particular region is the region whereas the drug which are hydrophilic can be incorporated. Therefore, this is what the liposomal system is, and phospholipids are the component which are used to prepare this particular nano carrier system, nano drug carrier system. So coming to the liposome, for sure it will have certain advantages that we are going through all this hustle and bustle to make this particular nano formulation. So very basic advantage that liposome consists of: it increases the efficacy and the therapeutic index of a drug. Other than this, it increases the stability of the drug. For example, if a particular drug is unstable in a particular pH, because it will be encapsulated into a phospholipid bilayer system, the stability of the drug will be increased. The third very useful advantage of the liposome is you can site target your particular drug candidate into the area which is need to be treated, apart from making the drug go into the systemic circulation. Other than this, improved pharmacokinetic. How the pharmacokinetic of the drug is improved? By decreasing the elimination and increasing its circulation in the body. Other than this, the facilitation of the transport throughout the biological membrane is also increased. These were the advantages. Let's just go through the limitations as well of the liposome, because nothing can be called as a perfect formulation. So there are basically three disadvantages that comes across with the liposome. The very first is, as liposomes, it consists the word lipid. The overall system became solid. It decreases the overall system decreases the solubility when it comes into the water circulation, into the body fluid, or we can say into the body fluid, as well as we can say that we are using a particular phospholipid while making or formulating a liposomal system. So if that particular phospholipid goes into either the oxidation or the hydrolysis process, then this whole system can be degraded. The very last limitation is high production cost. Whenever you are going through a multiple steps of a formulation production, it's very sure that the production cost will be increased. So at very last, you need to have a little example of the liposomal system that is in the market, which is liposomal amphotericin B, which was one of the drugs that was used in this pandemic against COVID. So thank you so much. We will be continuing with the other topics in our next session.